Alright, Ebusiafo. VimLady Exp0se Mahama ababonten. Efa President John Dramani Mahama any the NDC abai. Ebusia. Enya sem ketwa. Ebusia aha Ghana Nsem TV. You best say move subscribe to the channel and move from doing cherebra e comment section. Na me share you know. Ebusiafo. President John Dramani Mahama any the NDC abai. According to yes sister VimLady Exp0se NDC for bi mu edi agenda bi enam edi pushy President John Dramani Mahama say on call third term until they are doing everything possible be say they will make sure sa policy no and I say sa constitution no omutumi sa no se ne be ya ebe ma President John Dramani Mahama be rani bio obusia afina I say near ansem na abronye eka de biano ene ansana I say eyaye no kre papa because insem na VimLady edi bano e chere say the NDC has that plan to change the constitution just to allow President John Dramani Mahama to run again. Ebusiafo na say NPP for to meet nasi eshehain ama sa aduwe esi wokrom ha and the bed dima MPP papa e ben dima MPP papa Ebusiafo insem na VimLady edi baro eye hu papa e mami nsem mre uma yenko na yenko tie insem na VimLady odeba na yeba yebetu asem nyame hira nyina.
NDC for be pushy President Mahama Nakwa Kutu Ejem. And knowing the kind of person President Mahama is, no, senire finu hua, senkrofone one in China person omo dada no ma President Mahama re finu hua. We are here to remind the president. Say the Ghana Constitution it no 4 years, 4 years. Obi any one ma oko 8 years. 4 years, 4 years unya mienu. You can get 2 consecutive terms. 2 consecutive terms. Na unya sa term ni we na woko na wasamba ana unya 1 in the case of President Mahama unya 4 years. And na wako na wasamba. It cannot transmogrify itself into another 2 terms. That is the issue as Ken Crunchy. Yembo na baso MPP time. Ken Crunchy lawyer or the case no court for dinner terms say na MPP for na sponsor Ken Crunchy. And no pushy agenda and say Obi Intraso. Meanwhile, Ken Crunchy or court is question was very specific because at the time, now President Mahama ye candidate Mahama, and there was a very high likelihood that President Mahama bet me win the elections. So the issue was Ken Crunchy lawyer Ken Crunchy the 2 court in any was for the courts to explain a friend saying was for court to interpret constitution. They say 2 terms na Ghana constitution na rolling to DJ 1992 constitution they can't 2 terms about 1 term 4 years, another 4 years, and I say so being 4 years, na say ebetwem and from abefaso now it's 8 years is truncated in the case of President Mahama there were nyani 8 years na antoaso atamils 4 years na atamils enwie and a President Mahama betwaso 2 years and ono anya term 4 years and 4 years na tiriyan santo ama no 2016 they say it's a President Mahama winia. Can President Mahama get his fresh 8 years, fresh 2 terms? Are we entitled to contest elections? And I say, because when you're 4 years, that I'm from Abefaso, and son only 4 years, kabum, and also betimenya. This is the issue that Ken Crunchy took before court. But because Ken Crunchy, this case we call court during the days of MPP, Timu blue, black, red, gold, green, style, baby. Mo say Asamba back to square one. Let me take you to Asama Shamima Muslim. Shamima Muslim NDC new. Or yeah, you office of the president. Now, Abrante we mirror fini din kuma with Abrante and started our conversation. And na do now. People are pushing President Mahama say ya. Say our committee your constitutional amendment that taking from baby President Mills. Okay, so more constitutional review now when we now President Mills who call okay, President Mills Mahama by one of the things that he's done is say that same committee we reconstitute committee and also omunya adwuma people are pushing this amendment onto the committee because and ka said the Ghana constitution no to mean sorry keke say wo kwa change the constitution even with the NDC super majority no more parliament no there are some near maybe a additional constitution in the wisdom of President Mahama ni mpanifo no mo ye President Rawlings mpoa President Rawlings ni omo constitute the friend consultative assembly omo no mo chichire Ghana constitution omo ye ni say enie maybe wo constitution ma yenya entrenched untumi nsore keke nkosesa it is America for constitution see because Ghana no ye see ekosua kakra from UK ekosua kakra from America na America for enie maybe you cannot just change it it is that Donald Trump be or see birthright citizenship go change and obi a be wo no America bia no e ji se ne maame ye America for semester for asem call because France enko omo na no omo chichire the American constitution ni di shemu enti the same news ano na Ghana for any President Rawlings any penifo na omo ye consultative assembly na omo ye constitution no e di shemu say yamfa niema bi nse constitution ma nyese president bia ba na obe change because omo ni African leaders e bia ne the Cameroon president we di 90 ho say change na ono kwa na wanyansa Cote d'Ivoire, omo president you better na konya so still I we 80 something. Was still on no one answer. In fact, there are some way the entire so passionate about it and say President Kufuor yes or to know all kono 2008 ya to aberia 2008 abano call ya copy a time because how we are brand na unima 2008 elections it was so bloody say ya to abano first round ya to the second round no crowns so assemble Emma about on a young time elections and they had to go back 10 time to go and recount about almost 2 time constituency. And President Kufuor lose no kono kase 4 years to 4 years and so obia because President Oba ebia President Mahama they won't say 24-hour economy first year President Mahama by what is so I can want there be because President Mahama so or appointed deputy ministers. Oh yeah, I find a public institutions thing now. All by appointed CEOs. And some all by appointed deputy CEOs. And some all by appointed first saying board. And some sometimes we crowd was some constitute other bodies near the first year now by better na to the bogo say useless to be near. President Kufuor no can say a 4 years then so. Ono na din chire say omunya 5 years and ampo bi adachi bi omunya 7 years but he specifically mentioned say and komunya 5 years so that 1 year na that's no dey o de be grouping or buying constituting your government appointing people near ade na 4 years na ka no wetimi focus on a money developmental agenda mo ye no blue black red gold green bi
abusia no kura na ye be ka kire John Dramani Mahama say emani nya na adwen da say sa constitution no odi ni sambeka emani nya na adwen po emani ban na adwen po da say sa constitution na da ho no odi ni sambeka because oye ba betu aban wo ka kire Ghana for say 4 years is enough for every government and as every government to do something. Oko America or I say UK interview be ya beside say we 24-hour economy within these 4 years we are sure so bet to me I say yes or bet to me aye inti say omo adwin say omo disa da no e de ba e be twan trust ne be ya omo sense constitution dia abusia mayen kan kire omo say enye ye ne enye ye kira the same way Kufuor kan ya oman penisu no we the NPP too will stand on our feet and defend that same constitution obiara beko 4444 sa pepepe na ebe no nobody is going to change it. You see the I say mudia munia bon ye ben be before nia embo ye meboa enti yen kan kire omo penifo na omo MVP mo sorry na mo kan kire no let the muma President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC muma who say this is your stand because in some way every day abronya ka some ways bena edwin say political talk bebusia e ya dia NDC fo aso etenas ya planning person omuye. It is high time MPP for so be sorry. A gina painting. Send a bear only NDC for ben.
Why? Because President Kufuor. Why? Because President Kufuor. Because at the time, I'm sure I can. And now MPP for no. The President Kufuor person was so because it was flowing from a conversation. President Rawlings in 1992, 96, not so much about 92, but 96 and 2000 elections. Because President Kufuor babe two Rawlings in tea, and the campaign was obvious. Baby, I don't want President Kufuor be winning. Almost those were the kind of it was the political talk, just jabbing of President Kufuor. And the President Kufuor ko bo no musio a okoka say enye onu on the okọ atamos neighbor. Nebom moma yenye no 5 years mudi natem. Enne NDC for Kuma Wood for Shamima Muslim key NDC people are now calling say yensano. Afemu hu den. Mami fan ko anu mami ni aba Shamima Muslim. Afe dia Shamima say possible Mahama third term under proposed constitutional 6 years single term limit. Emaso. Let's stick to what the constitution said. Emaso. And Emaso because Shamima Muslim say say mo bi ko kan na now there. MPP time na no ho ya and ya Kufuor MPP asem na make am saying Nana do MPP time say Nana do ko bon hu musio kan say asem nka me ya hwe nke be hye ni ma fie o nyina kom be hye no ne ho hinti but enne ye can the same thing for President Mahama. And the question I me woman yenu aba Shamima, so what changed? Because President Kufuor dey adwen kire ne ba ne ye tu mu. And there's wisdom in the President Kufuor canon. Nyansa bi wom because there is no way in hell. Some bonsam kra or so are clever. Who cover bonsam kra man say 4 years on some to me sano. It's not enough. And the kind of politicking be memo, especially Ghana. Yeah, your politics now you're so divisive. The politics now your winner takes all. It will be back. I was saying the party for satisfy or mean now I never betu. Because see, the problem with politicians is recurring. Say, see, President Mahama buy any 1 year. Because NDC TikTokers, Omudi Sam George atem, Omudi President Mahama atem, and I won't change and I'm on my be. Winner takes all. This is what is happening. And think President Kufuor assembly buy and why you openia? Odie matemante, openia or shako kind. Now on him so what's not Konyano so 4 years and so it from his experience, he's not even saying selfish, say. Ono te won debi oso ono okofie o na emo matamelse a obey mumma yenyin sakani ma atamelse more time sanya atamelse kra na obi obedi na chi bi obebebe ye ma ne time oh you see aponchisi oye ni wura down no onim so ono ana rede na o say no mu di President Kufuor ta na mo fo say President Kufuor be presidency na kosi kumase na mo dwen ye mo say President Kufuor be presidency na konifie e wo eye friend say airport na mo ni say President Kufuor be presidency na kwakotena ni fie aburi enti enye na ye di President Kufuor atem today ye nyina ye hu say President Mahama 24-hour economy enye possible say 4 years obetimi aye ni nyina enye possible it's difficult din say obewie ni nyina 4 years din because big push no konye ye and to konketenkete on maso there are so many things say major issues are President Mahama person oye but hwe de mo de afa no enti e kan me ko single term no kwade me feel it ye na yakwa peke America for concept in ye say ye be 2 terms and do go no single term so obi aba ye be man 1 term it's not even feasible because usually nipa ne ba the first term no or ye mistake ba ku mienu bi and the second term no or try to correct some things e bi na ye catch na nado e ho no na nado antie say in the first term what for ministers no ade a wonim semfom so we na waye e bia e friend can for yat and for penasem papa into o second term you correct your errors akona President Kufuor do e mistake no but to say your constitutional amendments na very ye limit no ni anya just 1 single term I disagree but even me kwa dia me put dia media ne say e dia na aba NDC e dia na aba president wa mpese mo push President Mahama se chenchene a on President Mahama no to ono on can so pretete on suma mo se pretete a conversation when you na can take that President Mahama not when he was in opposition or opposition one can that so pretete or ba power so one can that so pretete on can Since President Mahama na dey say we mo so omo go test waters no. No one share how the public react to any backfire because nobody will accept it. Me say Ken Crunchy, lawyer Ken Crunchy, they say we call court mudi na tem. President Kufuor pay mu no akasa the suggestion adwenkyere opani nyansafo ahu say me meti akonya say 8 years answer me o mentumi anya ne ma wo say na de ye. Enti no moma ye ma nipa obeba wo machi no more term no wetumi anya abotre settle in his government. Wotumi anya abotre planning the policy. Wotumi anya abotre implementing the policy. Mo say de bi da. Aburo ni beye utu aduboni e bi kan wano na bi nie. Afei mo problem ama pa ma President Mahama. And Casabre, and Kebia 5 years, since President Mahama winning over 10 years than any. And can big push you 24-hour economy, and go on kitting kitty, whether at any grassroots policy or a macroeconomic policy, and can we be able to manage it 5 years a year, at least with the first year, no appointing for 4 years. 4 years now, can you be able to enforce things? Any even cases in medical court, any idea for reactor DNA, one day, and the first year, no, attorney general would have at least when you're in handling all those issues. Now, 4 years now, attorney general to me focusing on giving the president a legal framework for the 24-hour economy, a legal framework what governmental policy will hinge on, at least to sit on. But wait, 4 years in now, I'm here. AG the back of a chairman so then go for court sana. And can Julian KG Sonia, Asumjan also nya, Rodinia law, I have a shaping President Mahama 24-hour economy. No to me. Which no what some yet 1 4 years now. This is what President Kufuor was talking about. Never President Kufuor born commando. Shamima, before you come, you will have the moral right to even talk. But President Kufuor born commando. Moody na style baby. And I'm not saying that Shamima as a person. But like I'm saying, say NDC for in opposition, they insulted president. You see, I said we no be can. Now what Jenny brain non to mean comprehend the idea and actually don't be quick to insult the person because you never know what you say. President Kufuor Konya to Kaiso can say in Rollins time he had accused him say by nipa dos obetina Konya so say the size of government is the size of betina bontia criticizes the size of government. President Kufuor in his own wisdom to say yes he was wrong. He accepted into more NDC. Before you have the moral right and the moral audacity to even comment on President said whether or not you say no, more apologizing for attending Moody President Kufuor. Then you can come and sit down and have a conversation like that. Now you from a presidential constitutional review committee, no, so but I think say in the spirit of fair dealing, NDC should not be talking about this conversation right now. I was say President Mahama call. Maybe later the obebano. Then Nipano has not been part of your social political discussion. No? Then we can do that. But what's here, Konya? So I wanna what pushing this constitutional review commission no, into being no. When you kokase omunye an amendment that and even if it follow the normal constitutional procedure, which is that before a best system constitution, I can say president got term living count or got term no. Yenye a friend saying yenye referendum because that's the only way you bet me a constitution no. Saying by referendum, what to me is a constitution in my president Mahama another time. And yeah, with super majority, I think you didn't want to that's the reason why first no push NDC or munya super majority no they can change constitution. Which constitution ke? Which kind of constitution? Ghana constitution and that's a Hawaiian constitution. It's not Ghana's constitution because Ghana constitution they ain't French clause no to mean now demo. And for super majority or parliament no mesesana. We don't do it like that. It's not like that. It's not as simple as that. And to be so be the adventure be banawa dream no one man. We should not be quick to condemn the people. You see, now to show you somewhere I make and some let me take you to what President Kufuor said. Because it's very true. And because I was there, I was a journalist when some of these things were happening. What you say? And it's a President Kufuor can. Odika pa those days. No, Mokan. No, Makacha no say hey. Or no, he was pushing, including story of VOA for a publisher. Let me take you back to VOA story and then a Ghana web story. No, and this is President Kufuor. He said it. Or no, me say panyini de ese odua matemante pay ukọ na ese panyini ka asem a na wa hwe nye ne o ochina de no de President Kufuor kan na wa hwe no. But we all were so gullible. Say, President Kufuor, or person tina konwa so. And ya man Kufuor kwama ma poison ya drink against some particular people. You know, that's what we all thought. Let me take you to Sasem na a year first saying, President Kufuor, let me remove this, take you back to the story. And this is it. Ghana's president suggests extending tenure of office for future leaders. Yo, and this is even what President Kufuor, future leaders. One can say, or see future then leaders. Future leader. This is VOA story. I say the Ghana's outgoing president John Kufuor, who steps down on Wednesday's test. And this is a story from hang on. This is from 2009 when President Kufuor lost elections. 2009. Where losing elections are all coffee. And the VOA, I say Ghana's outgoing president John Kufuor, who steps down on Wednesday, says future heads of state should have their tenure of their terms extended to 5 years in office instead of the current 4. In his final State of the Nation address, listen to it. President Kufuor, Nyankopon shira baby a obi enti na wotia se na obetena se akodi 100 and beyond. Or see in his final State of the Nation address, President Kufuor said, or kind of one pocket say me for na my memory was a little faded. It I thought that I know the President Mills Ekoto Jubilee House, you know, and I know Kasi, but in his State of the Nation address, this is a public record in Parliament. Also, in his final State of the Nation address, President Kufuor said Parliament should consider extending the term of Ghana's president to 5 years to give that person what he calls reasonable room for the newly elected leader to settle into his job. And they quote President Kufuor for the president of a struggling developing nation with weak institutions. Perhaps in this case of Ghana, a 5-year term, renewable ones, will create the needed space for making a better impact, President Kufuor. And this is almighty President Kufuor, no. Or see a Bama new president, no, but room. There be a see and say that. President Kufuor is selfish. Nani bradie, or Pakonyana di. So I'm saying at some corner better to President Mahama bo. I feel na Shamima money other people can say. They need more a year for President Kufuor. What up, President Mahama? Ka President Kufuor can na must say a see na must yem piano. Na di opera di akọ Ghana akọboa Ghana yie no ona ye boa no enti dia President Kufuor kan ye to asimu ye mfanye adwuma na da bi mfa so beba so ama President Mahama but aburo ni bewie na mo ka say mo ye ayi President Kufuor so on say asem kro na asan ba beto mo. We'll be going into other issues so enti but let me just quickly read this other story too. This is also a Ghana web. Okay, this is Modern Ghana. So former President Kufuor has reiterated his call for Ghana to increase her presidential tenure of office from the present 4 years to 5 years with 2 terms. President Kufuor in his last sectional address, again, the same State of the Nation address na President Kufuor can you know, and na President Kufuor mu quote no. Enti nyansa de obi si ya de wo yemfa na asase so. Nyansa na President Kufuor de adwuma, this is it. So all those who are pushing President Mahama section